Welcome back to IDP Bets. How's everybody doing? My name is Johny the Greek. Hope you guys had a good night of TV watching the Friday night game. Well, actually, YouTube, but pretty good game. Came right down to the wire. We've got the Week 1 IDP Bets for you. I am joined with a very special guest this week. You guys know him, Scott Bogman, at Bogman Sports on Twitter. He is the host of the InThisLeague.com family of fantasy sports podcasts. He is a known degenerate across multiple different sports. He's also the winner of the Pentathlon League from last year, which, Scott, you'll have to explain that to us in a minute here. But yeah, definitely a known degenerate. Scott was on the show a whole bunch last year. Scott, welcome back. Thank you for coming. And how's your week 1 going so far?
Thank you for having me. It's going all right. I mean, Worthy getting hurt, brutal. I have him all over the place in fantasy. I thought that, actually, I did have the under in the game last night. So the Thursday night game, so that wasn't bad. Had Jalen Carter in the league, though, of course. So ate the donut there. Wasn't a DT only league like you have. But yeah, that was not so much fun. But so the Pentathlon is a league that DVR, Derek Van Riper from The Athletic, runs every single year. And it's all industry people. And it's multiple legs. So we have a Superflex auction. We have a best ball. We have DFS. We have weekly picks. And we have a survivor pool. So we get a scoring system. It's just if you finish first, you get 12 points. If you finish last, you get 1 point. So in every category. And the Welsh and I split this entry like the last 3 years. I think we got our entry back 1 year, the first year, and then the second year we won it. So lots of fun, lots of big industry people in there. My boy Pat Fitzmaurice that I do the Dynasty show on Fantasy Pros with is in there as well. He was second. So bragging rights on my my Dynasty partner for the entire season as well. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I remember you telling us about that in the Super Bowl show last year, and wild stuff. So, yeah, congrats.
Thank you.
Alrighty, we got some solid Week 1 IDP bets for you. Before we get into it, though, just a reminder, these are not even suggestions. We are just discussing the bets that we will be making personally. Set a limit and stick to it. For help with problem gambling, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. We are coming off a 72-50 overall 2024 season for IDP bets. So, yep, winning record, pretty good. We'll hope to do even better this year. In Week 1, Scott, I'm sure we'll, talk about this a little bit too, is rough, right? We've got no real data to go off of. We're just kind of just using the force. But with that in mind, what do you got for your first favorite IDP bet Week 1, Mr. Bogman?
Yeah, and I've always said, like, my Week 1, I do in college as well, like, your bet should grow as the season goes, like a tree. You know what I mean? It should start skinny and get fat up at the top. That's what the more information that comes in, the more predictable these bets become. But Week 1, we're going to try it. We're going to see what sticks. I'm going to go with Robert Spillane over 7.5 tackles and assists. He hit this in 13 of 17 games last year. The revenge game narrative is there for him against the Raiders, I guess. But what I really like is just the differentiation in this offense from last year, right? Pete Carroll comes in, and you have, I called Ashton Genty coming out of college, mini Marshawn Lynch. And that's exactly the style of game that he plays, a dude that needs to touch the ball 20 to 30 times a game and run downhill. Well, Spillane is a terrific run stopper. I think he's going to be in there a lot. And Geno Smith last season was 18 of 26 qualified quarterbacks in average depth of target. So short passes means tackles for the linebackers as well. So I just think he's going to be involved in both sides. I think the 7.5 is pretty good for a guy like Spillane. I think he can hit it.
Yep. Yeah, no, I've got a lot of Spillane in a lot of IDP leagues this year. He is always a fantastic producer. So in a vacuum, this is a great choice to begin with. So love your reasoning there. Good stuff with that. Mr. Spillane for our first one there. Okay, I am going to go with an under to start off here. Oh, sorry, that is the wrong one. There we go. There we go. We got fancy new technology this year. I'm getting used to. All right, so I'm going to take Bobby Okereke under 7.5 combined tackles. This is at -118 on DK. These are a mix of DK and Underdog tonight. So those in IDP land with shares of Okereke have been watching this off-season news blurbs that he's had with a knot in their stomach, right? The IDP show's very own Mike Wohlert has been all over this and has recommended caution, trusting him in week 1 as a linebacker one after seeing him lose the green dot to Darius Mousow and Micah McFadden during some of the preseason action where the starters were involved in weeks 1 and 2, I believe, preseason weeks 1 and 2. So
is this stemming from like the injury that ended his year? Does he just not look the same?
There wasn't a lot of info to this. So a guy from The Athletic, Dan Duggan, also cautioned that Okereke may not have the green dot or could rotate with Mousow, and that's causing some concern across, all of IDP land, basically. His
Yeah, I mean,
ADP
you take the green dot away, you're not going to be on the field every snap. That's basically what it says. So
Right. And this has affected his ADP in some of the recent drafts I've seen and stuff too. I mean, and who knows if this is actually going to be real or not. We haven't seen a game yet, so it's smoke and mirrors at this point. But it is a factor that's out there. And this is also up against a Commanders team that improved their pass attack this offseason by getting Debo. We get year 2 of Jaden Daniels, should be more comfortable in the pocket as a passer. I think we could maybe get a blowout here. The Commanders are facing a bad Giants team at home, fresh off an NFC title game berth. That has some value as well. Washington is favored by a touchdown at home in week 1. We can't know anything for sure. We're all kind of just shooting in the dark here for week 1 with no real data to go off of yet. But if Okereke does have a diminished role, or the Giants get blown out, or Washington passes more than they did last season, any of those factors or a combination of them could lead to the under for Okereke for week 1. So that was my angle on this. Am I crazy, Scott? What do you think about that one?
No, I'm kind of against trend betting. I like news betting more, and this is news betting, right? This is seeing what you've seen on the field in the preseason and in camp, and the fact that you're betting based on logic and not on something that has happened in the past is always something that I prefer. So I do not think this is a crazy bet at all. I think Washington plays more to the side as well. I feel like a lot of Terry McLaurin deep, a lot of passes to those running backs in Eckler and Bill Krosky-Merritt. Got rid of Brian Robinson. You have two just like short yardage back. So I don't know. I think the run game is really going to be an extension of the passing game here in Washington. And I think that's, based on Cliff Kingsbury pass, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Yeah. Got to look for any angle you can find for week 1, with what we got, which is last year's data.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What do you got for number 2, Mr. Bogman?
Number 2, let's go with Cody Barton over 6.5 tackles plus assists. This is Denver hosting Tennessee. And last year, he hit this in 10 of 17 weeks, but he played next to Singleton, right? No Singleton this year. Who is going to be this second linebacker? Cedric Gray, I guess. We've heard James Williams IV was mixed in there as well. So I just think Cody Barton, not only is going to be on the field constantly in this game, because Tennessee should have a big upgrade in offense by taking Cam Ward. That's kind of like the rising tide raises all boats, all that stuff, right? I just think you have a better player at that position. The offense is going to look way better. They didn't help their defense really at all. Like, you have really good interior tackles. You have a lack of edge rushers. You have one linebacker that's probably NFL capable. We'll see if Cedric Gray has it, right? And then the corners are rough. They've been rough. And L'Jarius Sneed has not been the same player and injured since going to Tennessee. So I just think that Denver is going to dominate time of possession in this game. I think Cody Barton's going to be on the field a lot. And I think that just leads to way, way more opportunities to make tackles. And you don't have a vacuum tackle like Singleton playing next to you anymore. You have inexperience. So I think Cody Barton's going to be in on a lot. He probably piles up half of this on assists or over half of it on assists, but I just think he's going to be around the ball a lot and on the field a lot.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. With the Denver dominating time of possession thing, I've got like an alt line bet Denver minus 13.5. I've got them as a DST in leagues where that's required all over the place this week.
Boo,
So
we hate that.
they're not my leagues.
Yeah. I'm always, every time someone's like, "Can we get rid of defense?" I'm like, "If you switch it to IDP, we're all in." And everyone's like, "No, we're not." I'm like, "Yes, we are. We're all in for 3 IDPs. Let's just do it that way." I'm trying to bring people into our cult. They're not ready for it yet.
Start them slow. Yeah, ease them in. Yeah, absolutely. Love that one. That is a great second bet right there. I am going to go with a safe bet for this week. I'm going to go with Foye Oluokun over 8.5 at minus 103. So Oluokun should be returning to his kind of traditional role in playing time this season as defensive coordinator. Ryan Nielsen is no more in Jacksonville.
Thank God.
So, yeah, seriously. So he should be back to playing every snap and will remain the green dot defensive captain from everything I've seen. Between that, great news and perhaps less competition for tackles with some of the uncertainty surrounding Devin Lloyd that we've heard about recently. Plus a pretty good matchup against the Panthers team that was middle of the pack for rushing yards per game last season and saw a breakout campaign from Chuba Hubbard that got him a nice contract. We've got a decent setup for Oluokun in week 1. Beyond that, the spread is only a field goal here. Neither defense was great last season. Jacksonville was 28th overall in points per game allowed. Carolina was dead last. We could have a shootout. We could have a back and forth affair here, and that's always a good environment for combined tackles for the inside linebackers. And then, with this being week 1, worst case scenario, if you didn't tell me anything and just asked if Foye Oluokun was a good bet to get over 8.5 combined tackles, I would say yes.
100 million%. Like that may be all the logic you need. He might have 14 tackles in this game, right? Would not be shocking. My only fear for this one, and the only reason I didn't pick it, is like, how much of an upgrade do we think Carolina's defense is going to be, right? That is my big question, because they were historically bad last year, which means they're historically on the field more than any other defense as well, because every team is just running in the third and fourth quarter to protect their lead against this team. So that's my only fear for this one. But I think there's an upgrade there's massive upgrades, and I think they went from historically bad to just really bad. This Panthers D. So, and getting Derek Brown back is huge. If some of these defensive ends that they drafted, Princely, can work out, that would be really nice for them. So, I don't know. I still think this clears easily, but that's like my only inkling of fear on this one at all.
Right, and it offsets kind of the return to normalcy for him too, without Nielsen there. So for me, it kind of evens out. But I'm just taking a safe guy that's done this for us many times.
Easy money. It seems like right there. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, who you got for number 3?
I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb here, and let's go with what we're going to have in a first-year starter in Cole Bishop over 5.5 tackles and assists. Look, we know that Sean McDermott is typically hard on rookies. We saw Keon Coleman, if you're not so familiar with his stuff, with Sean McDermott's stuff. We saw Keon Coleman, get dragged to the doghouse and all that. That was in the headlines, but behind that was like, why is Damar Hamlin starting over Cole Bishop? Like, Damar Hamlin's he's not a starting caliber safety in the NFL, in my opinion. He's like, comes in on those passing downs. He can lay a hit every once in a while, but I'm really excited to see what Cole Bishop has this year. The linebackers have been injured a lot. You get Milano back, you get Bernard back. We'll see for how long here, but I really like this one because I think that Baltimore is going to be forced to pass this ball a little bit more, right? I think when you get embarrassed week 4 last year, you lose 35-10 and you allow over 200 rushing yards. They did a great job in the divisional round of stopping Derrick Henry, and he ran the ball less than 17 times, I think, in that game. I think it was 16 times. So, and they went out, they get Michael Hoyt, they go get Larry Ogunjobi, they draft TJ Sanders and Deion Walker. Like, it's pretty clear that you want to stop the run and force teams to pass. So I think Lamar's going to have to pass a little bit more, and Cole Bishop is going to be involved in some of those downfield tackles. And I think 5.5 is too low a number for him. So let's clear this one at 5.5.
Yep, I'm with you on that. I've got no, logical reason to back that up, but you know what you're doing, so we'll just leave it at that.
It is. That's why I said it's risky. It's a first-year starter.
All right, that should be a good game though, at the minimum. So
yeah, absolutely.
Great Sunday night game. Alrighty, so number 3 for me, I'm going to go with another under here. This one's a little wacky, and Scott, I could be way off on this, so just shoot holes in it right after I'm done here if I am. So I'm going to take Slay under 3.5 combined tackles on DK. So according to the FantasyPoints.com Week 1 wide receiver cornerback matchup report, that is claiming that Joey Porter Jr. will be mostly responsible for Garrett Wilson. Who is the Jets wide receiver most likely to catch a lot of passes this week, or any passes this week. We can't know that for sure, as modern defenses shift constantly, but if that's the case, then Darius Slay would get some Josh Reynolds, who is not amazing. Combine this with the fact, and this is more what I'm looking at, that Justin Fields only completed 12.8 completions per game in the only full season we ever saw him, in just 17 completions per game last year on your Steelers, in the handful of games that we saw him play there. We have a quarterback that does most of his damage with his legs and not with his arm, right? Beyond that, we've got the lowest total of the week at just 37.5 points for the over-under. It's an implied defensive struggle. Both of these defenses are excellent, and this is not the kind of setup that's going to produce a ton of passing offense and completions to begin with. Pittsburgh is a great defense, and beyond Derek Harmon, they're healthy to start the season for the most part. I saw Herbig was a little banged up, but he's good to go. I feel like Justin Fields is going to be running for his life, literally and figuratively, most of this game, instead of standing in the pocket and completing passes that then Darius Slay is making the tackle afterwards. So I think a few different things point towards a slow day at the office for the Pittsburgh corners, period, and probably Darius Slay in particular. I wouldn't imagine the Jets want to challenge him or Ramsey that much to begin with. So I think if anyone gets picked on, it's Joey Porter Jr., but I could be way off on this, and you are a Steelers expert, so what do you think of that one?
I mean, I think this is a very strong bet. I think the first reasoning that you have is exactly when you sent me this, I was like, well, that's why. It's Justin Fields doesn't throw the ball, right? Like, he runs too much. That's all the logic I think you need for this one. But if you want to go back and look at, Darius Slay and his tackle ability, he hit this in 6 of 14 games last year. So less than half, right? So if we're just looking at Darius Slay from a recent historical data, says he's probably not going to hit this. So I think you were better than 50% right there. And, and all we're doing in these bets, I feel like it's death by 1,000 cuts. You want to find multiple reasons to back this bet, not, vibes. You know what I mean? Like that's all you don't need to do. If you have 2 to 3 talking points, I think you can talk yourself into some of these. So I like this one. I think it's very, very playable, and that is why the juice is so disgusting on it at -135. So you put this with something else you like and make it a parlay to me. So I think this one is based in great, great logic.
Oh, thank you, sir. I knew you were the right man for the job, being a big Steelers fan.
That's right.
I understand you may have some sack props for us. What's the first one you got for that?
I mean, let's just go, right? If we're going in week 1, let's just go and let's just put some of these together. I put this on Underdog. I believe it pays 5-1 or 6-1, somewhere in that neighborhood. But let's go. Maxx Crosby at New England. Will Campbell is probably going to make his first start, but he is not 100% healthy. He's questionable in this game against one of the best in the NFL on your first start. I mean, I think this one could easily happen, right? So let's go with Maxx Crosby against the rookie who's less than 100%. Myles Garret at Cincinnati, right? I just think who's going to be on the field more than Cleveland's defense this year, because their offense is disgusting. So, and the Bengals love to pass the holy ass out of the ball. So Myles Garret with Mason Graham on that line now as well, kind of causing some issues. I think that is it's a dangerous combination. Let's go to Trey Hendrickson versus Cleveland. who had the most passing attempts in the league last season? The Cleveland Browns, because they were losing in the third and fourth quarter of almost every single game. So lots and lots of pass attempts means Trey Hendrickson can get to the QB here. And then the last one, Josh Sweat at New Orleans. Whew. Spencer Rattler is a disaster. This just, I mean, they are clearly tanking. There has never been, you draft a 25-year-old rookie quarterback in the second round so you can start him, so he can be bad, and then he can't even start. It's got to be Spencer Rattler. Whew. These guys want Garrett Nussmeier real bad. So I think Josh Sweat can get in there and prove to be, I mean, that Cardinals defensive line is probably one of the most improved defensive lines in the league this year. Get Campbell back, Walter Nolan. They're going to be able to stop the run and eat up blockers on those third and longs, which the Saints should have a lot of in this game. So we put all those together. Like I said, I believe it was 5.3 or 6, somewhere in that neighborhood to 1. So, I mean, maybe it won't hit, but take the ones that you like the logic on.
Yeah, exactly right. Think of it as an idea generator instead of blind tailing, and
sure.
Your life will go a lot better. That's for sure. Beautiful. Love all those. So I've got one here. I guess you could call this my bonus bet. It's very similar to what you were saying about the Saints game this week. So I'm going to go with Demario Davis over 9.5 combined. That's at plus 114 on DK, which is a pretty good price. It seems pretty straightforward to me. The Cardinals were an excellent rushing attack last season and probably still will be. They had the 7th most rushing yards per game overall, 11th most attempts overall last season. They're favored by a touchdown up against Spencer Rattler and a very iffy New Orleans offense. Beyond that, Arizona was the 9th best offensive time of possession last year. New Orleans was 27th overall. I don't see that improving for them. The Cardinals should be on offense plenty and run the ball into Demario's area early and often. The only worry I have is a blowout where Davis is sitting early. But, Arizona hasn't exactly dominated the teams they're supposed to dominate in recent history, so that's not a huge concern. Assuming Demario doesn't sit early in this one, I think he'll have a great opportunity to stack combined tackles all game long against a Cardinals offense that runs a lot with Connor and Kyler taking off out of the pocket, and will also have about a million short dump-off passes to McBride right over the middle. So the action should be in Demario's area all game long, and it's plus money. So, the number's a little high, but I don't know. I think it's got a shot. What do you think?
I think this is the Robert Spillane bet on steroids, right? Like that's exactly what this is. This is a team that's going to need to run the ball a lot in the middle, right where Demario Davis plays. Trey McBride catches the ball over the middle, right where Demario Davis plays. I think the logic is really firm here. It's just a high number. That's all, especially for a guy that is closer to my age than he is 222. You know what I mean? But I think that this one is built in sound logic. It's a high number, yes, but maybe Tennessee's defense is going to be on the field more. Maybe Cleveland's. I don't know whose defense is going to be on the field more than the Saints this week. It's probably going to be the Saints most weeks. So I like this bet as well.
Yep. Yeah, and like you said earlier, this is going to get easier as we were dialed in when we did the Super Bowl show last year, or the Week 14 show or whatever it was. Not so much at the moment. We'll get there though. Any bonus bets? Anything else you like this week, NFL wise? Can even be a dirty offense. Anything that strikes your fancy.
I won't bore anyone with offense. I see we did have a question from Antonio asking about faith in Peyton Wilson, or is it just hype? I have faith in Peyton Wilson. I think he's really, really good. The only problem that there has been for him is that he's had injury issues, right? Like NC State, lots of injury issues there. But this dude on the field, and I talked about it with Josh and the boys early in the offseason, I believe right after the draft. He's one of my call-outs, man, for this year to make a big impact. So good as a coverage linebacker. Just the dude can do everything. He's a team captain type of player as well. Holds everybody accountable. Pretty excited to when he's getting more snaps than Patrick Queen, because maybe it's just first year in the system, but Patrick Queen was lost sometimes last year. So I was not impressed, but hopefully he can turn it back this year and look a little better.
Yep. There you go. Beautiful. But bonus question answered right there. Good stuff, Scott. I know you got a ton of stuff you're doing this season. Can you please tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on this season, and any announcements for the crowd?
Absolutely. Thank you again for having me, Johnny. This is always fun. I love doing this show. Easy, simple, fast, and just fun. I love this show. I love making IDP bets. You can catch me at Bogman Sports on Twitter, right? And then I work for Betting Pros and Fantasy Pros. I do early line show on Monday for Betting Pros. Out of Bounds is a NFL show I do with Joe Pisapia and Chris Welsh on Mondays as well. I have another college football betting show on Wednesday with Seth Woolcock and Trell Furman. Then I have my 2 ITL shows a week, Dynasty, Discord, FP, most Tuesdays. I have another show with college props and bets on Friday. So just follow me on Twitter. You can find all my stuff. In This League is my baby. That's my Patreon. That's where everything started for me. And I work for FP and Betting Pros as well. So at Bogman Sports, Bogman Sports, easy peasy.
And tell us about the Madden streams. I tuned into one of those at work. Yeah, and you know, I was just messing around. I was on like lunch break, and I'm watching you play Madden and answer like fantasy questions at the same time. What a great format! It was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, that is something that my buddy Chris Welsh came up with. He's the one who started in this league with me. So yeah, he came up with that, and we implemented it at Fantasy Pros. So yeah, we just hang out. We play a couple games of Madden and answer fantasy football questions on Tuesdays at noon. Eastern. So yeah, check that out. It's on the Fantasy Pros Twitch.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Thanks, man.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it as always. We'll definitely have you back a few times. You know the drill. Not your first rodeo with any of this.
Right. Love it. Thank you for having me, and I would love to come back. So you tell me when.
Awesome. Sounds good, man. All right, before we get out of here, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for our other shows, the IDP show, that's the flagship podcast, the IDP After Show, the IDP Trade Show, and IDP Drafts. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so for just $5 a month over at theidpshow.com. We've got premium features for our paid supporters that we know you'll enjoy. Follow us on Twitter at the IDP Show, all one word. Thank you all for watching and listening. Good luck in week 1, everyone. And we'll catch you guys same time, same place next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Win some money.
He said win some money. Right.
Win some money.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.